and welcome back to my next review of the Kospet Magic 2S smartwatch. Now you will see out of the box this device looks very attractive. I think it looks very nice. I like the round traditional watch look on these devices the way they come today. Let me slide that on my wrist and show you some of the features and functions on the watch itself. I have the turn your wrist feature turned on, and normally I turn this off to preserve battery life, but for purposes of showing you what this watch can do, I've turned it on. So you just flick your wrist and the device comes on. We'll get through the menus and features there in a little while. Very nicely done by the company is a spare watch band. This one is red over black or black over red, so you can swap that band out if you want something a little bit more sporty looking. And then there is a user manual that is in, it's pretty small, but it is in color. It walks you through how to install the app and the main functions and features. And it comes with a magnetic charger that pops onto the back. And I'm back. I had to run off the screen to grab the charging cable, but this is what it looks like, and it just snaps on the back via magnets. This is a waterproof design, which I really like. Let's get into the features and functions. You can just turn the watch on by either flicking your wrist or pressing the button on the side, and then you're either scrolling up or down or left to right. So we run through the options here. There's heart rate. It will take your heart rate in real time. For this, it uses the green diodes, and this only has green diodes, okay? So it'll do your heart rate on demand. It will do blood oxygen saturation, SpO2. It's got 40 sports modes. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. It has sleep tracking. It will act as a music controller from your smartphone. And you can have push notifications sent directly to your watch from your phone with Bluetooth enabled. It's got a stopwatch feature, countdown, and in settings, you can change the theme. It comes with a number of different watch faces that you can swap out. And from there, it's just you run through this menu to see the various features and functions, countdown timer, and then you can scroll through to see your stats from left to right. It's your step count, your kilocalorie burn, your total miles, back to heart rate, your sleep, that's from the previous night. Your notifications would be read right here. And I'll say this watch looks like it has a protective screen covering on it already that covers the inner part of the dial, so that's kind of nice that I don't have to try to apply one of those on my own and worry about getting bubbles underneath. That's the basic functions of the watch. I like the looks of it. It's a nice big dial. I like the fact that it's got multiple watch faces. And then you can also scroll down. You can change the brightness, the themes, the settings, and you can actually turn it off and things like that. Most everything else resides in the app itself. The app is called FFit, and it will give you your heart rate beats per minute. It can track this over time. When you go into any of the sports modes, it will track your heart rate continuously and give an estimate of kilocalorie burn over the duration of that workout. And I will warn you, it's got 40 sports modes, but they basically all do the same thing. It'll track the amount of time you're engaged in that activity. It will give you an estimate of kilocalorie burn, and it will track your heart rate. That's it. In the settings, you can turn on continuous heart rate monitoring. So every 5 minutes, it will measure your heart rate automatically. You can see here, I went to the gym earlier, and the first little blip here is when I did my workout, and then the second blip is when I turned the continuous heart rate tracking on after that. Gives me my maximum and minimum heart rate. My max during that workout was 95 beats per minute. My minimum was 53. That was while I was sleeping last night. We can go back. You can go through the various days. It gives you basic sleep functionality, sleep tracking functionality. Here you see 7 hours, 18 minutes of sleep. It will break that down to deep sleep versus light sleep. And tell you if you had any waking times, tell you how much of your sleep target you met. Now you tell it how many hours of sleep you're shooting for, so you define that target. And now here you'll see GPS. Don't misconstrue this. This is not a GPS watch, but with certain exercises that you're doing outside, if you have it synced with your phone, you have to use location services on your phone, and that's where the GPS and location comes from. It's from your phone, not the watch. Your watch will send over an estimate of kilocalorie burn and your continuous heart rate, but all the mapping functions come from your phone. And that's why I say don't get fooled by 40 sports modes. Most of them do the same thing. They just track the time duration, your heart rate, and an estimate of kilocalorie burn. That's about it. Pretty basic functionality on the app. No in-depth analysis or anything like this. Here is where I can go into other watch faces and change the dial. There are many different designs here that you can load onto the device. I like that. Notifications, you can decide which notifications from the phone you want sent to the smartwatch. Here is where you can turn on and off continuous heart rate monitoring. Here's where you can turn off the raise your wrist to turn the display on functionality. You can sync your data to Google Fit. It's got a feature where you can find your device, so I would click that and it would make the watch buzz to help make it easier to find. There's a take a photo function here where you can turn that on, and you can hold up your phone to take a picture or do a selfie and then just shake your wrist, and that motion will trigger that photo. There are some more settings here. You can change from imperial to metric and vice versa, 24 versus 12 hour timing. And if you scroll down here, there's some other things here. If I go into the personal information, you can define, your nickname, your birthday, your height, your weight, your skin color. Here's a weird thing for calibration. Now, this apparently is for doing blood pressure measurements where you calibrate it to like a given blood pressure scheme, but this device does not take blood pressure. So this is extremely misleading. I'm guessing either this watch once did blood pressure and then they took that functionality off the device, or they've built it into the app hoping maybe someday in the future it will support it, or this app works with a bunch of different devices and it doesn't know that it's connected to a device that does not do blood pressure. So very poor that this is even in the app. This does not do your blood pressure, but it does do continuous heart rate. It does take SpO2 measurements. I'll do a heart rate. I'm going to put this back on my wrist and show you the heart rate measurement. So let's get into heart rate measurement mode, and I'll just click on that and show you how this works in real time. Again, this only has green diodes, which is fine for heart rate monitoring. Yeah, again, you can turn this continuously on, or you can turn it off and only do this on demand like I'm doing right now. There's my heart rate. I can scroll down to the SpO2, or the blood oxygen saturation measurement. And this takes, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds or so, but this gives you a measurement of your blood oxygen saturation. These two are very useful parameters. I like the continuous heart rate. I like the SpO2. But aside from that, this is essentially a basic smartwatch. Now, I bought this with my own money. It was about $26 on Banggood. I'll drop a link below. I like these features. I like the looks of this device. It keeps track of steps. It keeps track of your sleeping. You can turn on auto heart rate. You can take these SpO2 measurements on demand. And you can get message notifications, change the watch faces. So for a good basic tracker with some advanced features, I'd say it's pretty good. It's definitely at the lower end of the scale in terms of features, but I like the looks. It's easy to read. Go check it out. You know what to do. Like this video. Check out all the fitness tracker and smartwatch reviews on my playlist on this channel, designated fitness tracker and smartwatch reviews. I've got some other product reviews. I've got kayaking videos. Share this video, leave a comment, tell me what product you'd like to see next, and I'll do my best to bring it to you. So there you have it, the Kospet Magic 2S smartwatch.